Okay, so what we did on Friday, if you look, we came up with how we wanted to structure our notes. And you'll see that my topic is Children in the Civil War, and I decided to do it categorical, okay? And if we want to review that real quick, remember that categorical is you're going to be researching categories of things. Chronological is you're going to be resourcing a period of time, so at the beginning, the middle, at the end, but it'll be deeper than that. And then compare and contrast, you're comparing two or more things, telling how they're alike or different, okay? So if you'll look here, I've made a little to-do list for us that your teacher will have up on the board while you're working, okay? And the first thing that we want you to do is to determine the focus topic. Give me a thumbs up if you feel like you've already done that. Everyone in this class should have their thumb up because you already know what your topic is, okay? Number 2, decide on a structure for the chapter. Chronological, categorical, compare and contrast. Give me a thumbs up if you feel like you've already done that. Most everyone should have because we picked that on Friday, and that's what you put in parentheses next to your topic. And number 3 is to determine subtopics within your notes, okay? And so some of you, not sure if all of you did, but I did model that. Let me show you that real quick. Okay. My subtopics are just basically different topics that I'm going to research about. So kids who served was one of them. Okay. Kids who didn't serve was one of them. And schooling was one of them. So those are the 3 things that I'm going to be researching for children in the Civil War. Okay. Now, if you chose chronological for your structure, yours might be the beginning of Clara Barton's life, teenage years of Clara Barton's life. Those might be your categories. So they'll be a little different depending. If you chose compare and contrast, you might be all about Thomas Jefferson, all about whoever else you're comparing, and then what they both have in common. Okay, so those are some ideas. Let's go back to our to-do list here. Who can read we just did number 3, determine subtopics, and probably not very many of you have that done, so that's probably where we're all going to start. What's number 4? After you get done with subtopics, what are we going to do? Asia?
Ask research questions under each subtopic. At least 3 per subtopic.
Okay, so we're going to ask research questions. Raise your hand if you've talked about research questions before. You know what research questions are. Okay, so these are going to be questions that we're going to ask about our topic, and we're actually going to use these questions for our research because we're going to go look for the answers to them. Okay, that's the whole point of our research is we're trying to answer our questions that we have about this topic. Okay, and so I kind of modeled a few of these for you. So when you sit down to do this, you're looking at your subtopic. My subtopic is kids who served. What do I want to know about that? What questions do I have? Okay, here are some questions that I had. The first one, how many served? How many kids served in the Civil War? I really want to find the answer to that. The next one, what were their roles? Like, what did they do? Were they all soldiers? Were some of them musicians? I want to know all the different kinds of things that they did, okay? And then the next one was, did they still do school when they were going out into war, okay? And I might not find answers to all of these, and I might find other stuff that's really important, and that's okay too, okay? But you want to stay pretty close to what your research questions are when you're finding information, okay? Over here. Okay, after we determine our research questions, number 5, we're going to start your research, okay? You're going to look for answers to your questions or other important information that should be included, okay? Who can tell me where we're going to look for this information? When we go to research, where are we going to be looking? What do you think, Braden? Okay, so go to Google Classroom and you can use those 2 websites that we have. Where else, Braden? Okay, so you've bookmarked some articles, and there's one other way you can get research. We haven't said yet. What do you think, Ryan?
Books out there. And
the books are actually all right in here, okay? And they have tape It says like Generals, Gettysburg, Abe Lincoln, they're all organized. Okay, so you can use books too. Okay. After that, number 6, you're going to be looking for answers, number 5. Then number 6, you're going to take notes. You're going to use caveman language in your own words. Do not copy and paste. If you're on an online article, it is not okay to copy and paste. You need to put the important information in your own words. Okay? And then you need to cite it. And really quickly, I think I have maybe a couple minutes. 9:10, right? I know she's here, but I'm just going to do one real quick note so you can see kind of what this should look like. So I'm looking here. I'm going to start with kids who served. How many served? What were their roles? What did they do in school? And I'm just going to go to one of my articles that I found. It's Children in the Civil War. And I'm just going to skim. Okay? Am I going to read, children were active, enthusiastic, and a critical part? Oh, I got to go put that in my notes. Am I going to do that? No. I would skim the whole article. Just like we talk in close reading, you read to get the flow. I would skim the whole thing, and this is just one paragraph, so I'm going to skim it real quick. You compromise on the sugar portion. Okay, take some time skimming it, which I already did before you guys came in here. And I know that one of my answers to my questions is right here. It says, while we don't know how many children enlisted during the Civil War, we do know that around 48 soldiers who were under the age of 18 won the Congressional Medal of Honor for their bravery and service. Okay, so that answers how many children served in the Civil War, kind of. Okay, so I want to add that to my notes, but I need to put it in my own language. So what do you guys think? How would I say that in my own language and caveman language? Real quick, Damien. Okay, I'm just going to say it's unknown how many children served. Okay, and then I'm going to say what it said, that 48 soldiers who were under the age of 18 won the medal. 48 soldiers under the age of 18 won the Congress. Okay, and then I need to cite that because this is where I found it. And what we're going to have you do is just copy the URL. So I'm going to go up to the URL, copy, then I'm going to paste it right next. Okay, so that if Miss Wales comes to me and says, I don't know if that's true. Where did you find that? That doesn't seem quite right. Did you make that up? Not that she would accuse me of that. But then I could say, okay, right here. I'm going to click on it. It's right here. This is where I found it. Okay, so after each note, you need to do that. If it's a book, you would just do the same thing, but you would just put the title of the book and the page you found it on after each note. Okay? That is all we have time for today. So I've modeled taking notes, one note. Okay, so I'm going to trust that you guys can do your best on this, and that is all.